Imagine waking up in the middle of nowhere. You're surrounded by mountains, fresh air, and silence. There's no power line overhead, no gas line under your feet, no noisy neighbors. Yet inside your home, the lights flick on, the coffee maker hums to life, the air is perfectly warm, and your Tesla outside is fully charged. This isn't some dream of a survivalist cabin. This is what life could look like if Tesla built a tiny home. A home that thinks for you, powers itself, and connects seamlessly to every other part of your life. A home designed by the same company that turned the electric car into a symbol of the future. Tesla has always been more than just a car company. At its heart, it's an energy company. Elon Musk has said this for years, and you can already see it with Tesla's power walls, their solar roofs, and the megapacks that stabilize grids around the world. The missing piece has always been the structure itself. What if Tesla didn't just give us the roof and the battery, but the entire house? What if Tesla applied its obsession with design, energy efficiency, and software to the place where we spend most of our lives? That's where the idea of a Tesla tiny home comes in. The Tesla tiny home wouldn't just be a small house with the logo slapped on, it would be a completely rethought way of living. Start with the outside. Instead of shingles or clunky panels bolted to a roof, the entire structure would be wrapped in solar-generating skin. During the day, sunlight quietly pours into the system. At night, the Powerwall batteries built into the floor and walls feed that energy back to you. The home itself is like a living organism, harvesting power, storing it, and giving it back on demand. You don't just live inside it, you live with it. Step through the door and you'd feel Tesla's design language immediately. Clean lines, smooth surfaces, minimalist furniture that folds, hides, and transforms depending on what you need. Every space is used intelligently. A sofa that transforms into a bed at night, a kitchen island that doubles as a workspace, glass walls that tint automatically as the sun sets, giving you privacy without blinds. And because Tesla is a software company at its core, the home would learn your preferences. It knows when you wake up and what temperature you like the room in. It knows when to dim the lights, when to kick on the air filter, and even when to order groceries for delivery. Your home wouldn't be dumb bricks and wood, it would be a thinking partner. Now imagine how it works with the rest of Tesla's ecosystem. You plug in your car overnight, and instead of draining the grid, your home and your vehicle share energy back and forth. On sunny days, your roof generates more power than you need, so your Tesla in the driveway charges up for free. During a blackout, your car could power your home. And when electricity prices are high in the evening, your Tesla home shifts energy usage to the daytime, when solar is abundant. It's not just a house, it's part of a living energy network. But what makes a Tesla tiny home truly different is the independence it offers. Right now, homes are chained to infrastructure, power lines, water mains, gas pipes. A Tesla home would be built to cut those cords. With rainwater capture and filtration, gray water recycling, and ultra-efficient heating and cooling, it could thrive almost anywhere. Put it on a plot of land in the desert, drop it on a mountainside, line them up in a cluster to form a futuristic neighborhood. For people who crave freedom, resilience, and sustainability, this idea is electric in more ways than one. Think about how this could change everyday life. Your monthly energy bill? Gone, or at least dramatically reduced. Power outages? You'd barely notice. If you work remotely, you could live wherever you want, not just where utilities happen to run. Families could downsize into more efficient, smarter spaces that cost less to maintain. Young professionals could finally afford an entry into homeownership since a modular Tesla home might cost less than a traditional house. Retirees could put one in their backyard as an accessory dwelling unit, renting it out for extra income. And adventurous souls could treat it like a mobile base camp, picking up their home and moving it as their lifestyle changes. This isn't just a lifestyle change, it's an urban revolution. Imagine cities dotted with Tesla tiny homes as backyard units, turning empty lots into self-sufficient dwellings. Think about new suburban communities where every roof is a power station, every house is a battery node, and every car is part of the system. Neighborhoods would become microgrids, able to share energy and ride out storms without depending on fragile central utilities. Tesla homes could change the very shape of our cities, shifting us towards smaller footprints, shared resources, and resilient design. But of course, no bold idea comes without challenges. Building houses is nothing like building cars. Cars last a decade. Homes need to last for generations. They face rain, wind, fire, earthquakes. They're regulated by an endless maze of zoning laws and building codes that vary city by city. Even if Tesla designed the perfect home, rolling it out at scale would take enormous effort. Permits, inspectors, contractors, supply chains. It's messy in ways Tesla hasn't faced before. And then there's cost. Even a stripped-down modular home requires serious investment. To make this viable, Tesla would need to bring the same mass manufacturing genius it applied to cars into construction. That's not impossible, but it's a steep climb. Then there's human psychology. A car is something you swap out every few years. A home is deeply emotional. People raise families in them, host holidays, pass them down across generations. Would buyers trust Tesla with something that important? Would they accept a house made in a factory, delivered on a truck, and dropped onto their land? It would take time for people to warm up to such a radical shift. Early adopters would jump at it, but mainstream acceptance could take decades. Still, the timing couldn't be better. Housing costs are skyrocketing, climate change is stressing grids and utilities. Younger generations are increasingly open to smaller, more flexible lifestyles. And the idea of energy independence, no bills, no blackouts, is more attractive than ever. Combine those pressures with Tesla's talent for turning science fiction into real products, and the Tesla tiny home begins to feel less like a fantasy and more like an inevitability. So how might Tesla actually roll this out? The path might look something like this. First, small pilot homes built as showcases in California, Texas, or Nevada. Not mass market yet, just examples that journalists and influencers can visit. Then limited production runs for places with favorable laws, like states that already allow accessory dwelling units in backyards. Maybe Tesla even bundles it with a car purchase. Buy a Model Y and get a discount on a Tesla home. From there, they'd expand into communities and developments, working with local governments to approve clusters of Tesla homes tied together by microgrids. And eventually, if everything clicks, Tesla tiny homes become a mainstream housing option available wherever you are. Now, let's imagine what it would feel like to actually live in one. You wake up and your house has already warmed the air and brewed your coffee, powered entirely by yesterday's sunlight. Your Tesla car outside has a full charge. You step into the kitchen and the countertop recognizes you, lighting up recipe suggestions. You work in a space that feels bright and airy, despite being small, because every wall and piece of furniture transform to fit your needs. In the afternoon, the home subtly adjusts the tint of the glass walls, keeping you cool without wasting energy. At night, while you sleep, the system shifts power into your battery, ready for another day. Your life feels smoother, cleaner, and somehow calmer. Technology fades into the background and you're just living. But let's also be honest, a Tesla tiny home would not solve all our problems. Housing affordability depends on land as much as construction, and land is still expensive. Regulations move slowly, and while the dream of complete energy independence is alluring, most people will still be connected to utilities for backup and convenience. Yet, even with those caveats, the Tesla tiny home represents something powerful, a vision of living that's lighter on the planet, more flexible for individuals, and more resilient against the shocks of the future. Tesla has always thrived at the edge of what seems possible. Electric sports cars, rockets that land themselves, robots that walk. Why not homes that power themselves, adapt to us, and last for decades? Whether or not Tesla ever builds this, the idea matters because it forces us to reimagine what homes could be. Not just boxes we live in, but intelligent, sustainable systems that free us from the limits of old infrastructure. So, would you live in a Tesla tiny home? Would you trade square footage for freedom? Would you let Tesla design not just your car, but the very walls around you? Let me know in the comments. I'm curious to hear what features you'd want. For me, it's the idea of waking up anywhere, totally independent, and knowing my home and car are running themselves in harmony with the environment. That's the future Tesla could give us. And if they ever decide to build it, it might just be the most revolutionary product they've ever made. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into the future of technology, and I'll see you in the next one.